Can you start by telling us your first name, your nationality, the year you arrived to U.S., and how old you were?
Yeah, my name is Blanca. I'm Mexican. I was 5 years old when I came to the U.S., and that was 1995.
So starting off with the first question, when you first arrived to the U.S., what communication challenges did you and your family face?
It was really difficult to communicate with anybody because we didn't speak English. We couldn't read or write it very well. Nobody in my family really could, even the people that had already been living in the U.S. for a while. Only my younger cousin who was in school was learning it, so she was kind of our main translator for all of us. So it was really hard to communicate with anybody.
So whenever you were in elementary school, were you in English as a second language program?
Yeah, because when I arrived to the U.S., I lived in Texas, and there they have special bilingual programs, especially for students that have just arrived in the country. And what they do is basically they start you off in an all Spanish class, and from there they move you into slowly, they start introducing English, and so kids kind of learn both at the same time. And then by the time you're in 3rd grade, you're kind of either in a full English class or they still give you some sort of ESL support, depending on your level.
And what impact did ESL have on you?
It was really helpful. That's how I learned English. It really helped me solidify a lot of the Spanish skills that I had learned in Mexico because I did pre-K there. So I finished learning how to read and write and basic math and Spanish, but then I was also learning English at the same time. So having both there, because I spoke Spanish at home but was learning English in school, was really helpful.
So do you identify yourself as Latina?
Yes. And also Mexican American, because even though I was born in Mexico, I've been raised in the U.S. pretty much my entire life. So I'm both, I guess.
So you consider yourself to be assimilated?
Yeah, I think that I love my culture and I love my background, and it's part of what makes me unique and special. But I think I love the American culture as well. So I've been able to kind of assimilate to the American way of life, but keeping in touch with my cultural background.
So how does that culture differ or compare to your parents' culture?
I think it's the same. Well, actually I think it's different because my parents are both, they're very traditional, and they still have the same very traditional ideas and beliefs and customs. So they're not as fully adapted to the American lifestyle and the American way of life. But I think my brother and I have kind of shifted away from some of the traditions that they still hold on to, but we haven't fully abandoned our culture in any way.
So do you feel like you're fitting with your peer groups?
Yeah, I think I've never had a lot of trouble with making friends, at least not based on my own background, but that's just mainly because I've always been surrounded by a diverse group of people. So they have their own cultures and different backgrounds, and it was pretty easy to just become friends. It's never been a big obstacle, personally.
Okay, well this concludes our interview. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.